Hey, witches, seekers, and magical misfits, welcome back to Around the Cauldron. I'm your host, Zachariah the Witch, and today we are diving into something a lot of people ask me about when they're just starting out. How do I become a witch? Not where do I sign up, not who do I pay, but how to self initiate on your own terms, with your own pace and your own style. So, whether you're sick of waiting for a coven to text you back or you're just curious if you can do this on your own, the answer is yes, and I'm going to show you how. But don't worry, you don't have to pick a magical major just yet. So, let's get into it. First off, what even is self initiation? At its core, it's claiming your path. It's that moment when you say, "This is who I am. I am."
We have found the witch, may we burn her?
There's no need for a robe or a secret society or a forest drum circle at midnight. I mean, yes, that's cool, but you only do that if you want them. And if that's what you want, then go crazy. Self-initiation is a personal, magical commitment. It's a spiritual yes to yourself. And the beauty about it is that it's entirely yours to shape. Wicca is often where people start with witchcraft, especially here in the West, in the United States. People think of Wicca, and it's the more, to them, structured, ceremonial cousin of modern witchcraft. It has rules, it has rituals, and it has a rhythm. You'll find that it focuses on duality, both the goddess and the god, the light and the dark, the seasons and the Sabbats. You can self-initiate into Wicca by studying the Wheel of the Year, by working with moon phases and dedicating yourself to the divine in a formal ritual.
The Witch's Wheel of the Year is a cyclical calendar of 8 seasonal festivals known as Sabbats that mark the changing energies of nature through solstices, equinoxes, and cross-quarter days. It begins with Samhain, October 31st to November 1st, the Witch's New Year, and then follows the Earth's rhythms to celebrate life, death, and rebirth.
Gerald Gardner helped codify Wicca in the mid-20th century, and while some folks treat it like gospel, others also make it their own. So if you like candles, rituals, altars, and a mix of nature and structure, Wicca could definitely be a home for you. Next up is Dianic witchcraft, and it's named after the Roman goddess Diana. This path is deeply feminist and goddess-focused. This path also emerged in the 1970s alongside women's liberation movements and will center around female empowerment, healing from the patriarchal trauma, and reclaiming the divine feminine. Some Dianic groups are women only, but the modern versions of them are much more fluid and inclusive, just like many of us. Self-initiation here often involves connecting to your inner goddess, honoring the cycles of your body and nature, and sometimes working solo or in a women-centered circle. So if you feel extremely called to divine feminine power, to healing ancestral wounds and ritualizing your own personal growth or cycles, this one might really click with your soul. Hedgecraft. Hedgecraft comes from the idea or the term hedge rider, which means it's a person who crosses between the worlds, both the physical and the spiritual. This is a more solitary and intuitive path, so you could think herbalism, spirit communication, journeying, dream work, and ancestral magic. Self-initiation here can be as simple as setting up a space for spirit work, creating a relationship with the land or plants around you, keeping a dream journal where you track messages from the other side. If you've always felt the veil was thin and that you had one foot in one realm and one foot in the other, hedgecraft is probably your natural state and something that you should learn more about. Here's something that's really important. You don't have to pick just one path, and you don't need to label it. You don't need to name it. Your spiritual calling might be a blend, part lunar devotion, part ancestor work, part kitchen magic, poetry, whatever it is, if it feels right, if it heals, if it helps you grow, if it gives back, then it's for you. You may be called to practice devotionals with deities, or you may never feel connected to a deity at all. You might use tarot, you might use trance, chants, or paint sigils with coffee grounds. You could change your mind over time, and you should, because that's the mark of an evolving practitioner. So allow yourself a little room to explore and to grow, or a lot of room, because you need to let your practice be personal. It should be liberating, and it should be rooted in what matters most to you, at least what matters most to you at the time of you discovering it or using it.
Hey, honey, it's me. Hi. So I was watching that one movie about those really angry girls that are in high school, and they're like witches or something. I'm so sorry. Hold on one second. You, Gina, turn that TV down. You saw that I just picked up the phone and I'm calling to ask my question. Turn it down. Thank you. Or no, they are witches. Anyway, they're in the movie. They talk about needing the new girl because she's like supposed to be the one that completes their unit or whatever it's called. What's that called? Oh yeah, their coven. So she's like the fourth, and it's like their coven, and it's complete and stuff, and they can do their thing. What's that about? Okay, thanks. Bye.
Okay, so let's talk about covens. I mean, covens sound cool, right? What movies do you think of? What pop iconography do we think of? It depends on what generation we're from. I remember when I was very young, there was Bedknobs and Broomsticks. There's The Love Witch, which was a more modern and made to look retro, futuristic version about witchcraft and love magic. There, of course, is The Craft, the 90s film with Fairuza Balk as Nancy, and she's like, yeah, say sorry, so sorry. There's all kinds of different movies out there. There's all kinds of different ideas of what a coven is. But having a community to practice with, to learn from, and to celebrate the Sabbath with can be amazing. But newsflash, not all covens are healthy for you, and not all are inclusive. And some, honestly, speaking of experience, some of them can be really power trippy. Some of them are just not made for certain types of people, and that's okay. So just remember, if you're not feeling it, don't wait around, go solo. The solitary path is just as valid, just as powerful, and as sacred. And you might actually learn more about yourself and your abilities and what you're drawn to on your own at first. Or maybe you go to a coven and then you branch off and do solitary and then you go back. But you are not less of a witch for walking alone. Before we wrap, let me say this loud enough for the ancestors to hear. Okay? I've said this before. If something speaks to you, keep it. If it doesn't, throw it over your shoulder. Take things with a grain of salt. Not all practices are yours to take, and that is okay. But in witchcraft, there are paths that are open to most anyone that can be explored. And then, of course, there is something that I think is talked about, but not as talked about on podcasts, maybe, and that's closed traditions. Closed traditions that are rooted in specific cultures, histories, or lineages. Those things that require invitation, initiation, or ancestral connection. Those things being hoodoo, candomblé, brujeria, Native or First Nations ceremonies, and a lot of these other ones that are not just a free-for-all for you to go to the library and go, oh, I read a book about it, so it's mine. No, they're sacred, and they are earned, and they're not a vibe that you can borrow from Pinterest aesthetically. Now, this doesn't mean that you're excluded from everything forever. It means that if you feel truly called to something outside of your own lineage, approach it with humility, study, listen, build real relationships with people who do practice and are a part of it, And also be open to hearing the word no, because that is a form of spiritual respect. Sometimes you can be invited in, but it's never something that you take, it's something that you're given. You can honor a path without imitating it. You can support a culture without consuming it or adopting it. Witchcraft is about connection, not conquest. So stay curious, but stay grounded. Your ancestors and your story have plenty of magic already. You just have to listen. And remember, what is right for you, what your spirit responds to, what aligns with your values and healing, that's usually the path that is worth walking, and at least trying to see how you make that work. And lastly, witchcraft isn't about having all of the answers. It isn't about asking the right questions. It's about following your instincts and remembering that you are the magic. You are the conduit. So whether you follow Wicca, you dance with Diana, you hedge right into the mist, or you make your own way with heart and fire, just know this. You don't need a gatekeeper. You don't need permission. You just need yourself. And, you know, we have all the tools within us because we come from the earth. And a lot of the magic of witchcraft is about honoring and being stewards of the earth and facilitating and harnessing the energies of the earth and the cosmos. So think about that too. Anyway, I'm Zachariah the Witch, and this has been Around the Cauldron. So if you like this episode, how come you haven't reviewed my show yet? Are you following me? Are you subscribed to this? Can you see my website, zachariahthewitch.com? Have you messaged me? If you have a question and you want to send it in, please send it in the form of a voice memo. You can do so on Instagram, or you can message me first and ask for permission. I don't know, whatever you want to do. But stay curious, stay magical, and as always, trust yourself.
We interrupt this program for a special news bulletin.
If you happen to be in Chicago in June, I will be there for an event called Windy City Parafest. That's right, Windy City Parafest. You can go to their website, you can check out their social media. Tickets are still available. For those of you that are like, oh, but I can't go to Chicago. Oh my God, I don't live there. Or I don't want to fly because every flight that I see online with the plane is crashing.
Oh my God,
I get it. You can also get online streaming tickets. Those are going to be made available. We're also going to be doing some live streams, and you get to meet a lot of the guests and speakers and talent that will be at the Parafest. Those are going to be coming up soon. I think they're going to be Instagram lives, so stay on the lookout for those. If you're not following me on social media, again, I'm Zachariah the Witch. It's all one word. But anyway, I'm Zachariah the Witch. You can find me at zachariahthewitch.com. Yes, I do offer readings and advice via divination and other means. I am on a sliding scale to make myself accessible. So be sure to hit me up and stay curious, stay grounded, and I will see you again in the liminal.